Rick, it sounded like you were disappointed on Saturday.
Yeah, we were poor for an hour. I mean, they were. I've got to give credit to Salford. They were better than us for an hour. They moved the ball around faster than us. They were stronger than us. They looked like there's some decent players, which they had last season as well. But for an hour, we weren't in that game. Even though in the first 10 minutes, I think both Sam and Ryan both had good chances. We could possibly have been 2-0 up in the first 10 minutes, but we didn't take them chances, and then Salford then just dominated us. We couldn't handle the centre forward. He was just, his enthusiasm to play the game was incredible, and you know, I used him as an example for our lads. You know, he's 16-year-old, and their staff were telling me that he has to get two bus trips to get to training every day. You know, and he goes and plays like that as a 16-year-old. They were really impressed with him. His desire to want to win the ball and play football was incredible. So he lifted their side, and they dominated us, and they've targeted us from corners. They kept putting the ball straight under Isaac's bar, and they surrounded him, and we couldn't deal with it. So it was. We found ourselves 3-0 down just after half time. We made some changes, and to be fair to the substitutes, they made a little bit of an impact. And in the end, we probably could have got a draw out of it. But if you look at the overall picture, we didn't deserve anything else. But
it doesn't matter what level you're playing at. 3 goals to catch up on, that's a huge task.
Yeah, it doesn't happen so often. When you're 3-0 down, you don't. It's rare that you come back and get anything out of a game. But yeah, I mean, young Dan, who's an under 16, because we were a bit short on the bench, he came on and he assisted for 2 goals. Max's header, and Sam Fishburne latched onto a cross from him. So the substitutes had an impact. So you know, the game as a whole, when you look at the score, it looks close. And if I'm being honest, it wasn't that close.
But you must be encouraged by that last half hour if the lads have picked up and gone on.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as we got one back, it affected them a great deal for some reason, and they sat back and wanted to waste time and kept giving the ball back to us. And you know, like I said, at the end we could possibly have got something out of it, but we didn't really deserve that. So you know, we were beaten by the better side on Saturday.
We said it before, and this is part of that learning journey that the boys are on about how games will go through the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they targeted our goalkeeper and defenders by putting the ball under the bar from set plays. We kept rolling the ball out to our 2 young centre halves, 2 first-year centre halves, because Boyne is suspended and Elliott's injured. So we had 2 first-year centre halves playing who aren't centre halves. Even though they did okay, we kept rolling the ball out to him, and the centre forward kept closing him down at unbelievable pace, and he was too strong for him. And we have to learn that we have to just go long. Isaac has to take goal kicks and drop them on the halfway line and stop giving them a chance. And then we've got to help a goalkeeper out from set plays by getting round him, and we didn't do that. And you know, I said at our time we were playing like a skill team and not a young professional side. You've got to start working things out. And you know, once we dealt with that at half time, and they weren't as effective once we sorted out. But you know, they've got to start working this out themselves.
Poolfoot Farm at the weekend, that's never easy.
No, it's a rearranged game because it's a Lions Cup day and it's our free Saturday. So I thought we don't want to lose a league game so early on in the season, even though it is November. It's still early in the season, for this year anyway. So I rearranged that one because Fleet would have a free date as well. So we played them the second game. They beat us 1-0. We should have won that game. But I just hope that we can get a couple of injuries back this week, because we're looking a bit thin on the ground at the moment.